People should have to go on strike to get another contract. The company should negotiate with the union and figure out what the best thing is. If people can progress a little bit and the company can make money, then we'll all make a good living. But this up here is just strictly union busting.
On April 5th, 1989, after working 14 months without a contract and negotiations stalled, the UMWA members employed by Pittston went on strike. The strike affects 1,700 workers in Virginia, West Virginia and Kentucky.
You take me, you drag me. Go ahead, drag me.
This is not just a coal miners' strike here, it's the people's strike, and it's all laborers' strike. Even if people don't belong to a union, this should be their strike, and this should be the part of their struggle, because the system that's being used adversely affect these workers here, the utilization of the state police, utilization of the United States Marshals, utilization of the federal courts through injunctions and state courts through fines, and the jailing 4,000 workers down here is something that adversely affects everyone that has to work for a living. I've called it class warfare, and the only thing you need to know about this, if you work, you should be on our side. If you don't, you should be on theirs.
When the strike first occurred, state police were sent into the area, and Governor Beliles denied that the state police were escorting coal trucks, which they were. Of course, it's been documented time and time again of state police actually putting on their traffic vests, stepping out on the road, holding up traffic, where the coal trucks have free access. And that's part of production. Getting the coal from the mine site to the tipple is production. The state police are involved in production in that they do stop traffic. The coal trucks have direct access to and from the mine site and the tipples. Free access. They don't have to obey the state laws.
How could you do it?
The way the state of Virginia is handling the situation down here, they are creating a violent situation. And we meet with our people every day. And in every meeting that we have, it is stressed nonviolence. And before the strike even began, we informed our people that it would be a nonviolent strike. And we still tell them it's a nonviolent strike.
Well, the mine workers drew the line at Pittston, and here's what we told them, and here's what I say today after being fined an additional $33.8 million. You take the damn Treasury, but you won't take us, and you won't break our strike. We won't retreat. We won't quit until we win at Pittston.
The day after the miners all got arrested at McClure number 1 mines, we, the students, didn't think it was fair for the way they were treating them. They were real cruel to them, the police were, like dragging them and twisting their arms and legs and things like that. And we wanted to show them, the miners, that we were behind them. And as long as they were out, we were out too. And so we all decided to walk out. So we walked up to the courthouse where they was arresting them and bringing them there to book them. And we stood out on the courthouse lawn all day, that day that we walked out. And just in support of the miners.
Just like you got the right to choose. Job with peace on praise, a better chance to make my way. And if you can't stand by me, don't stand in my way. Well, we had the babies kept the home fires burning bright. Walk the picket lines in the thickets of the fight. Yes, we helped you open doors, and we can help you open more.
Union women do make a
If you can't
difference.
stand by me, don't stand in my way. The time is right that we all stick together and unite. Some better seeds to sow, and we'll help this union grow. And if you stand by me, I'll surely stand by you.
If you ever want dignity to go with your life, you have to have a union to help you get it.
It's strange to me that when workers strike in Poland, or workers strike in China, or workers strike in Russia, we read about it in the newspapers every day. But when workers strike here in southwestern Virginia, and hundreds of thousands of people want to help them and support them and rally around them, nobody ever reads about that in the news media, and there's something inherently wrong with that also.
And here's Mr. Bush going around the world praising the role of labor unions in building a democratic society. And here in Southwest Virginia, we have the forces of the state and the courts doing all they can to limit the expression of workers exercising their right to strike.
Look at Gorbachev. His miners, they struck over there, and he found a solution. He was concerned. Okay, we strike here in the United States, and our president's out fishing or playing golf.
The Wall Street Journal article that was done, I think it was back in July, the lead sentence in this front page story on the strike talked about how a wave of violence was enveloping the coal fields. And, you know, you don't expect too much from the Wall Street Journal in terms of fairness when it comes to a labor strike. There's a dramatic example of where the corporate-dominated media takes what would benefit Pittston and just glaringly put it on the first page.
Oh, I think the media coverage hasn't been fair to organized labor. I think it's been very unfair to organized labor. I think it's been very favorable to big business, and you know, rightfully so. Why shouldn't they be? Who supports them? Who runs ads in their newspapers?
What they'll do is that in the same sentence, in the next phrase, they'll talk about violence, and then they'll put the phrase in there, 3,000 plus miners have been arrested in this strike. And now 3,000 arrests in a strike creates the specter of chaos and violence and terrible things happening, when in fact, overwhelmingly, the 3,000 arrests were for people committing acts of civil disobedience.
I think we still got the problem that created this strike. Even if we get a contract tomorrow morning, what created this strike is the belief by Pittston that they had all the power on their side, and that's the judges and the politicians and the system itself. So what we should do is say we don't want this to happen again to working class people, and we should stay together, band together, as we have been throughout this strike, and work towards changing some of these laws that adversely affect workers, make things better for working class people, so maybe the next time people go on strike, they don't have to deal with this situation.
Our governor's against us. Our judges are against us. Our troopers are against us, the lawyer. I mean, we really were standing alone until the people, until the people come in to help us, to stand with us. And so, I think by the people standing together, we can show these big corporations that we can win.